This is the reading for the Taurus males, the single Taurus males for February. Valentine's. Happy Valentine's Day, Taurus. To the males, I'm just going to start in. I am using what I call the House of Love spread. The roof is made up of 3 cards each from the love and sex, from the romance deck. I go in there and I suss out what's going on. Now the roof is how the singles, how they have someone coming in, how you meet, how things go, what are the dynamics under which you guys meet or come together. And then within the house is a descriptor of how the next relationship will be in full bloom here. You know, when you guys are dropped the dating scenario and you're grounded in who you are and the other person is, and you're in full swing. So this is the single. So this is, if you're single, you got nobody in your sights, this is the next significant relationship that will come forward. Now the first card I get for how you guys meet up or what attracts you to is the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups is an interesting card because it's about fighting and struggles within a relationship. Like we have 2 women here, and I don't want to go right away to the scenario of somebody cheated on someone else, you know, but nonetheless, this boy has done wrong, right? So he's being beat on by these 2, both women are going at him, you know, in not a good way. Nobody's saving him here. So it seems like there's something happened to you where you're in a bit of a struggle, and this may be where you meet your next partner. Now to expand on that, we get the Justice card. So the Justice, I mean, this could be a Libra that you're coming across. It also could be fairness within the relationship that you're looking for. And there may have been, where you came from, there was no fairness. So now you're looking for justice and fairness in the future relationship. So that's really what you're scanning for, and that's how you suss it out. It's like, yeah, that person would treat me properly or right or fair, and that's what you go after, right? So the next card is funny. I got to explain this to you. It's kind of the Joker card of the deck, and it's just a blank card that they put the front cover of the deck on. So it really does not have a meaning. And I was told by a friend of mine, just throw that in the deck, and anytime it comes up, because the back is, you know, the way that it's, you can't tell it's a Joker, right? Some of them, there's the back is different, but this one is, it's the same. So it blends. You're not going to see it. You're not going to try and avoid it when you're shuffling. And what she told me was, you know, and you just assign it that there's mystery here. There's stuff that cannot be told. There's things that cannot be revealed. They cannot know everything. Therefore, this card will come out when we cannot know this. So this is what's happened here in the middle of the roof of this house. They're saying there's some things that we can't tell you, because if you knew that, you would avoid or change, or you would do things differently, and we can't have that because that's the line of sight. We need you to your destiny to happen, you know. Now to clarify that in the romance area, we got the 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles in the sex deck is really an offer that is of a disinterest, right? So the male here is offering the female a rose, and she just is really couldn't be bothered. She's not interested. So it may be a situation where you are in a position where you're getting out of a relationship, or you've had struggles in the relationship, you break free of it. I'm hoping this is morally and not within the relationship itself. You go out, but nonetheless, making an offer to someone that's just not feeling it. So that's part of the scenario under which you get into another relationship. Now, the wheel is here, so fate and fortune really surrounds that. So that's another reason that we have to blanket some of this stuff, is because this is fated and it's a very tender material that if it's tainted in any way, it could be avoided, and we can't have that. So know that the next relationship that you do walk into, this is fated. Whether it feels like it is or not, it is. Ultimately, everything is to a certain degree, but we have choices on certain things, and I feel like this, um, it can absolutely be a choice, because why are we covering things up, right? Why are we? So we need to be aware, and we need to have our faculties here. But to expand on the wheel card, we have the Two of Cups. So there's a lot of love and deep appreciation in an emotional way for this connection coming in. But there's a lot here that's left unsaid that cannot be said. So we'll get into the house. When we get into the house, this is the relationship when it's doing its thing, when it's fully exposed. So the first card I get is the King of Wands, the King of Canes, right? So the King of Wands. And the King of Wands here, he really he's kind of smug. He knows what he wants, and he feels like he's going to get it. But he's gotta watch, because he can be cantankerous and quite grumpy to people. Like, he's not one that's going to be pleasant to everybody, because he feels like, I don't owe it to everybody. I just owe it to people who are loyal to me, that kind of thing. So be aware of that energy coming in here. The Wands is a fire, so it's a bit off of the earth element for the Taurus, but nonetheless, I feel the mind is ready to fire. Not so much ready to take action, but the mind is ready with the ideas. So, and that's the beginning, right? So as we move on to the sex card, we get the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is about dreaming about a love, right? And I feel like this is really him sitting on his throne alone, dreaming of, it's not something that he has in his life yet, but he wants to manifest. And then the next card I get is the Hangman. And the Hangman is taking a time out voluntarily. So you may have gone from a tumultuous relationship or a tumultuous ending. I feel like, there was somebody was angry, a lot of angered emotions, and the Taurus male just went, I'm done. They were kind of primed for this, knew it would happen, and kind of let things go. So they're at this point, they're like, I'm not really wanting anything right away, so I need time to think. And as we go into that, we have the Seven of Swords, and that time out is really on a physical level. It may be with the partner that you had, and you're going like, no more sex for you. You may be in a situation where you had a fight, and you're like, and it may not have been anything that was set in stone, like it's done, we just walked away and the physicality stopped. And then the next card we get is the Five of Coins. So the Five of Coins is like being out in public, having a good time and enjoying yourself. And I get a sense that some of these Taurus males have not done that. They've kind of been barreled down on things that they felt like they were locked in. So now they're relaxing, and they're able to do that. They're able to be footloose and fancy free, and they've got a partner there and it may not even be a partner. If you're single still, like, this is supposed to be in the house of love, but they're going, if you're single, you just may be enjoying your single life, and indulging with no strings attached. And then we have the Seven of Cups going from that. So a dreaminess about it, kind of like a light and fluffiness, like you're really enjoying the moment, and it's really having an effect on not just you, but those around you, being able to be light and airy about that. And then the Five, the Hierophant, is really, you do want that long-term committed partner, the innocence and the purity that comes with that, and the trust and loyalty as well. And then the Sun is kind of like that optimistic attitude, but I feel like, it may even be a situation where you have a fight with the person and then you get back into the grind, like you take a break and then you come back to that same person. And it kind of goes in that way, back and forth. But somehow there's a sense here that this is for a long term, but you got your ups and downs, and you can be quite cantankerous when you want to be, so you got to watch that. And yet there's a sense here of, I don't know, there's a sense here of being locked down. The male's feeling locked down from something, a lack of freedom from something. And I don't feel it's, in the relationship or out of that. I feel like it's a condition within the relationship, how someone makes them feel. So they need a little bit of time away from that in order to understand whether or not they can appreciate that, or that's, right for them, that kind of a thing. So there's a lot of mixed up energy here where we're kind of back hot and cold, hot and cold. That's what's going on, hot and cold. But in the end, the sun is shining and it's not as bad as it seems. But we have an argument that it all stems from. And the argument, I feel, is the key to the faithfulness of evolving the relationship to a degree. Like, I feel like it may be something that tests a relationship that maybe more than it's ever been tested, but to a degree that is faithful. It needs to happen in order to evolve you forward, to realize, sometimes you need to take that break to realize that you love the person and they come back. I mean, it just does strengthen things. And that's what I'm getting here, is that there's a building of strength, but there's a freedom that this Taurus male has to feel. In the meantime, they have to feel that break, and then they get it. Then it downloads, yeah, this is who I'm meant to be with. I don't want to be with anybody else. I don't want to go in any other direction. But they didn't come to that realization until they were apart from them long enough to understand that, boom, this is the one. When they're around every day, it's easy to take that for granted. And that's what happens here. It's like taking for granted and getting bitchy with each other, and, having moments where we're not completely compassionate, we're not understanding, and, being in a mode where we're a little bit cantankerous. So just watch that side of you, because you really could avoid. I feel like that's the key to your partner's happiness, is that cantankerous side that you hold. You just really can't handle that at all. So if you hold that back, there'll be a lot more reception on the other end of your relationship. Once you get in there, right? Because this is the singles, but it's really talking about back and forth, so you may have an on again, off again relationship that comes in, or you may have someone that you just broke from that is somewhat fresh. I mean, we're talking less than 3 months. That is going to come back, and you're going to appreciate to a better degree, and it kind of, it just kind of goes that way, up and down. I mean, nothing is stable forever and ever, amen, but this is something that is kind of in your path. So we have the Hierophant. We have the Hierophant here with his white flower of purity, and so this is really where your heart and mind wants to go. We just have some tripping along the way that we have to deal with. So hopefully for the Taurus male singles, that helps you suss things out and utilize. And I think the Taurus male is really a big thinker, and so he will utilize that time he has away. So I was going to say, do that, but I think he will, no matter of my advice or not. I think he just automatically will take advantage of that time, or make space for that time to plan mentally. Make sure he's mentally prepared, because he's not a quick physical reactor, but mentally he's got to have things mentally before he even begins to move on things. He has to have it all figured out. So that's really what he's going to do. He's going to take that break, figure things out, and go from there. whether it's going back to something that is somewhat, or, you know, getting into a relationship that is just kind of on again, off again. So hopefully over the February month, that's not too tumultuous for you. So happy Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's month. Take care, Taurus males. Be kind and have fun.